very card anyways.
Yeah.
Sad.
How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow?
Is it Gucci?
Should be live.
Should be. All right, we better wait for the chat, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
we are
now.
seeing
Right.
people say we hear them now. Okay,
so do you want to do the intro now, Electric?
Yeah, imagine that we had that flashy animation just go by in 3, 2, 1. Welcome everyone to GSA, the absolutely technically perfect, no technical issues whatsoever here, racing league. We've got the second matchup of toastrider versus Cheese to see who's going to take home that beautiful sandwich playoff ticket to Pace. I am Electric here. Co-commenting with me is D Whatever. How are you feeling before this race? I'm so hyped.
Same. I'm really excited to commentate Toast versus Cheese. Two of my favorites, the Battle of the Breakfast. And it is worth mentioning that this was recorded already, but neither me nor Electric know the results. Only Cheese, Toast, and the moderator knows that. So completely blind going into this, and we have no idea what's going to happen. Cheese could pull off like a 2-1. Toast could pull off a 2-0. I don't know.
Yeah, we could even like see something ridiculous like both players forgetting at 70-star, trying BLJs and restarting the race. We just don't know. It could be anything.
Imagine.
There's I'm gonna go ahead and say that that's improbable, but still, we really don't know what we're about to see here. This could just be like as electrifying as that initial match was on Sunday. This could be even more insane. So, and yeah, the closest that I've come to having any sort of knowledge of this race was yesterday. I received a misdirected message from one of the staff asking me when I was going to be racing with Toast Rider, and I politely informed them that I am not Cheese. So,
wow, that's kind of funny. I mean, your name looks like it's Cheese, so
yeah, I can see the similarities. That. You know, that they're really close on the keyboard. And just to kind of explain for those wondering why exactly we're doing this non-live, Cheese obviously is in Europe while Toast is in a different time zone entirely. So due to those scheduling issues and because we had to like get these playoff matches done in time for Pace, these players both agreed to just have the match offline. The current restreamer Artemis, they actually were moderating the match, but they haven't told us anything about what's about to happen. I think all that they told us was there will be at least 2 races.
Which is not much. So
yeah, I mean, I personally gleaned a lot from that information, but you know,
it's gonna be good though. I've seen that the first race they had in the first set, toastrider and Cheese were pretty much synced in HMC. That's like almost at the end, going into Tippy. So toastrider doesn't seem too rusty at all playing these matches.
Oh yeah, no, not at all. Even though it was a 2-0 sweep in that first match, toastrider was, I think, within like 45 seconds for sure on both of them. It was just wild. And apparently no game audio, so we will do our best to compensate for that. So birds chirping. Whoop, whoop. Yahoo!
Marius.
Yahoo!
Yeah.
Yahoo! And toastrider missing.
Yeah,
who could do skip right here?
Wow. From toastrider, okay. That's around 7 seconds, so not too bad in the beginning, of course.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, we've seen some kind of weird stuff with how that's affected people's mentalities. There have been a lot of league matches where whoever has missed Lakitu skip has taken home the race pretty handily.
So, I guess the script is decided then. Toastrider is already winning the first match.
Yeah, you know, so much for little spoilers there. What in the world with that rage pause on Toastrider?
Okay. Oh no, and a meltdown right afterwards. What was that though?
Just once your muscle memory for bomb clip gets messed up, it can be so difficult to recover it. As Cheese though, with a very nice, clean, not even bothering to do any sort of C down movement. I don't think I've seen that before, so I don't believe that was intentional. That was pretty wild.
definitely a really good start for Cheese, but I'm still like, for a second I thought that maybe they restarted, but Toaster just did that, I guess. And usually I don't see rage pauses from Toast at all.
Yeah, I'm personally a much bigger fan of the Rage Mario cams. Real quick though, Cheese, let's see, it's gonna be a 12-7, 12-8, I think. 12-8, right on the money. You know, if you make 2 guesses, your double is likely to be correct. So, commentator using that advanced strats with the Big Brain 3000 IQ.
I say a 0.7 for Toast before seeing this. Oh, that might actually. Oh, never mind.
Oh, 13-5.
Yeah.
Oh, 13 flat. Okay. You know, very nice recovery from that little momentum change off of that secondary wall. And that was just such a weird camera angle that he had going down into it. I'm not really surprised that he bonked it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the bounce back was actually really good. Could have been like a 0.6 at the end, but then, yeah, his angle was just too far off. And hit the other wall then.
And so now Cheese going in for cannonless first here. Let's see, rocking that sock folder full setup. Which that is a force of habit for me to call it that. Technically speaking, the sock folder setup adds a little bit of extra stuff at the beginning, but people found out a few years ago that wasn't actually required. You can just start from that ledge grab. But he was the one that came up with like the rest of that movement. It's just he wasn't the one that pioneered like using the exact setup these guys are using, which is why it's called full setup now.
Exactly.
Shoutouts to Para for that knowledge drop. Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Beautiful ult by Toaster. That's all I wanted to say. And I think it was DevTech who came up with optimized movement. The missed Owless though from Cheese.
Yeah, really far off. Not even like really getting any sort of movement. Oh, and a double fail right there.
Just Toaster coming back already. That's quite some time loss. Guess it's the 3rd time though.
Yeah, manages to get that corner clip. You know, this may just be me, but personally, I feel like Owless is more difficult when you're going from the center of the platform like that. But when you're at this guy's level and you're trying to get through these tricks as quickly as possible, it's certainly more convenient to start from there than trying to do the lineup from the edge of the platform.
Especially if once you messed up, it completely ruins your flow as well. It becomes even harder the 2nd time.
Yep.
That's how it feels at least.
It's weird how just having to get up there with the side flip wall kick just feels so much different. It should be about the same, but like just because of the slight difference in your approach angle and the way you actually end up wall kicking and then bouncing off, like every little thing that changes just because of you doing a side flip just makes it that much harder too.
For sure, that's exactly how I see it as well. Just the backup movement is kind of weird. And we did see really nice, like, 2 pro cycles right away. Toast had a little bit of a bad ending, but that's not too bad at all.
Yeah, once you get past
100 coins.
Oh, yeah, like, and it's really good to see 100 coins go well, especially from Cheese with that earlier failure. Seems that he's definitely picked himself up mentally. And it's always nice to see a successfully executed pro cycle. These guys making that movement just looks so easy, but it is fairly tight.
Exactly, especially with Worms. And this is almost tied up again, even though Toaster had a rocky beginning. Super close now.
Yeah, it seems that CLG Cheese double pillar, or what am I saying, pillarless? Double Owless fail ended up, you know, kind of compensating for toastrider's extended rage pause, and then that really weird movement there.
For sure. But yeah, I was also gonna say that Worms overall is just a really hard stage. I think if it was a stage at the end of the run, maybe people would go safer, but it would still be so insanely hard to go through it without mistakes.
Yep, exactly. I mean, it's the smallest stage in the game. It certainly has a very weird feeling, even like when you're playing it casually. And so, real quick, these guys are gonna go ahead and take care of the King Womp, the big ruler at the top of this fortress. Now, while they're fighting this guy, what is this fortress for? There's no obvious entrance or exit, and I don't know what exactly the Womps possess that is of value. So what are they protecting with this big island in the sky? It cannot be cheap to levitate that.
I don't even understand why the tower is there after you beat the Womp King. It's just...
it sounds like he's defending the tower, but all that's up the tower is another star. That's it.
Yeah, asking the real questions. I have no idea what's up with that. The lore is whack.
Yeah, the extended lore of this game, you know, whenever you watch this game for 2 decades or so, you certainly start getting a little bit stir-crazy, wondering about some of the happenings in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Exactly. Oh, really nice. Tower stuff from both, and super close going out of Worms. That's what I like to see.
Really nice. Pretty pro strats on that tower movement there. Yeah, Piranhasaurus with the real lore there. Mario is just breaking and entering, scaring all the animals. All the Womps are trying to do is defend themselves.
Yeah, maybe the tower just got built out of Womps. Who knows? They're talking about it, that people are building streets off of them. So.
With how many King Womps that Mario has defeated on top of that tower, they certainly have the material for a tower just from that. Now, both these guys with a real close slide. I'm going to go ahead and say Cheese with a 12-6, Toast with a 12-5.
Ooh, 12-5. Okay, that was a harsh bet on you. Like, a 0.5 is so hard with the long jumps in the beginning.
Oh, yeah. It's just whenever I see them like collide with that corner and start moving away right before 10, that typically means they've, as you can see here, like made the 12-6 happen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That is also why I purposely wait so late to make a prediction, is I'm watching just for that corner.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of takes away the fun. Oh, beautiful flying from both there. Grabbing the first two rest, which can easily like be missed.
Yeah, and just amazing arcs. Neither of them losing any time to the other at the moment. Wow. That just shows you how top tier both of these guys are. It's oh, but toastrider missing the tech skip, not even getting any sort of rollout or jump on that.
As you say that, toastrider proving to be maybe only A tier. I don't know.
You're not quite on the A plus. Just a smidge below. Just from that tech skip. We'll see what he pulls out of Dark World. Maybe able to reclaim that ladder rung.
Definitely put some like back around 3 seconds, I believe. Oh, a little bit of a stop, but not bad at all. And now Dark World. Oof, you don't want to die here. You can die anywhere though. That's the problem.
Yup. Just a very dangerous stage ultimately. She's opting for no speed kick. Knows he can make Shig cycle very handily without. Really nice, clean movement so far.
Toastrider also with a really good beginning. Pretty much, I would say the same kind of cycle for him as well. The same that Cheese got.
Yeah, Cheese making a very easy Shig. Let's see how this ending movement goes for him. And of course, Toastrider with an also nice little Shig to match.
Chris.
Pretty well what you expect from these guys. But what even? She's just a little bit too far away from the camera to get that second wall jump there. And
Toastrider thought he got the double firsty, but the second one was not a firsty, so didn't have that speed.
Oh wow! So Toastrider could have made up some decent time, but ended up with the really just weird stop.
That happens easily. If you're so confident in the double firsty, especially if you get the first one, that's when you think you're gonna get the second one as well, and then you just don't expect the I don't know, 4th frame wall kick. It's just hard to like come back from that if you don't hold A to get the full like jump.
Yup. And firsty is just such a like. It's an interesting mechanic, but also one that you really hate dealing with as a speedrunner. When especially like in a case of island hop or any other trick that either needs one or is just a lot easier with one.
Yeah, people didn't used to go for that. Like, it was too hard to go for double firsty runs, especially in longer categories. I'm pretty sure people like Shia, for example, did go for that early because of 16 star or in 16 star. But for 70 and 120, that's not what people used to do. And a really nice island hop from both here.
Yeah, just expert flying on this sky jump. It's really easy when you're still like trying to learn this and get more consistent at it to get the right height, but not get enough distance out. And so you end up with this like kind of awkward, like you have to do 2 ground pounds or just do like a rollout as soon as Mario starts sliding on the platform and then run over to the box and then ground pound under the box. And it wastes like a second and a half, 2 seconds. In addition to the time that you lose just by not actually getting the flying over to that box in the first place. So, but these guys showing off just how much time they put into stars like that to master these setups and make them as consistent as possible, as both of them going in for wall kicks will work to kick off CCM. And Cheese is good. Really, really beautiful, clean movement to that star. Same with Toastrider. Wow.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is such a good race still. Like, Toastrider not making that gap even bigger. It have only that slight mess up in the wing cap stage, but now holding strong.
Yep, as both of them gonna go ahead and go for Penguin Star. You don't expect to see like issues here.
Yeah, that seems to be like the typical start of a CCM, but I'm the kind of person that likes to go for 100 coins before Little Penguin. I don't know, maybe I'm just not normal.
I don't think it matters too much.
It doesn't matter really, but this is just something I noticed in these races. People always go for the Little Penguin first.
Yeah,
Even though I feel like it's a really easy star. Like, it looks impressive always, but it's not that hard. Anyone can pull that off.
Oh yeah, no. Once you master the stick movement for that initial triple jump, it's really free, and especially like once you just get that little bit of practice to develop the muscle memory with the camera change as soon as you hit the penguin. As Toast gonna go ahead and finish out his little slide skip here, committing to CCM 18, missing that moonwalk though, and having to take that just momentum change into the wall. Well, when you miss that moonwalk, for whatever reason, when Mario has a really high speed, when you're holding the control stick, it tries to like do normal movement calculations, which just doesn't quite work right. And so when you're holding the control stick trying to moonwalk and it fails, you just end up like shoved against the wall until you either realize what's happening and let go, or the game goes ahead and decelerates Mario enough, which will usually take like a second or two.
Definitely, it's something you also don't expect as well, and Cheese actually managed that side really well. I was about to say he missed one coin in the beginning, so he wasn't allowed to miss any coin, otherwise he would have gone, or would have needed to go for a backup coin. But he's good, grabbing every single coin in the slide, which can be a problem sometimes. toastrider has that one coin, like that one spare coin that he can miss.
Yeah, and it's really the big choke point is up here at the beginning of the slide with this arc. The way that they put that one coin down, basically forming a corner of the arc, makes it so much more difficult. I feel like if that one last coin that starts that curved arc weren't there, then that part of the slide would just be completely free.
Yeah, 100% agree. That's usually the one that people miss the most. It's really hard to grab because you have to jump at the very end, and if it was like millimeter before, you get so much more time to like react to the jump.
And the big problem is like if you try to time it late to make sure you hit it, you run the risk of just like falling off of the slope without getting the jump, and then bam, it's completely ruined. You've missed like 9-10 coins, and you're gonna have to go for insane backups after that. So it's one of those mistakes that people just go ahead and opt to go for it earlier rather than later, and just accept if you miss the coin. As Cheese very nicely pulled off Big Boo's balcony.
Yeah, that was a really good start into BBH, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna go for the double plus, so the routes are probably gonna be like tied again after SSL.
Yep. And someone in chat asking about Toast's route decision making. Double plus with CCM 17, I believe only saves like 3 or 4 seconds if done optimally. I'm not sure if that considers the Tama or not, but
exactly.
So toastrider isn't missing out on like a huge amount of time by doing CCM 18, and it is certainly safer in a race, especially if you're confident in the Big Penguin race star.
It's definitely a time save though. I think at least if you do attempts, you notice that time save so much more, and I feel like she's the kind of guy who's really confident in plus. So if you can manage to pull it off twice easily, why not just go for it?
But yeah, although we did see in one of those first races, he had a definite meltdown with some of those plus attempts.
It can happen as well, but the thing is, the CCM Penguin isn't completely free either. It's really, as we said earlier, it's really easy to miss coins. And with the Penguin race, it's even worse to miss coins than without the Penguin.
Oh yeah, if you're doing CCM 17 and you miss coins on the slide, the backup is like maybe a few seconds. If you miss coins with the Penguin race though, you've just lost a minute and a half, easy. Because you not only have to go back and redo the slide. Oh, he's not liking that bomb for whatever reason, getting the big bomb, but just I think the regrab just didn't quite work right. Didn't press A and B together or something.
Yeah, I don't even know how that happens. He probably just pressed A first and then B, but that looked so weird.
Able to get that nice little backup though, but doesn't have any more backups, and he does have 2 pluses to accomplish here.
Oh, he still has the Talon, which is alright. But yes,
yeah, Talon is just hard to use as a backup unless you're starting out with, unless you miss that first bomb grab. It's a really free backup if you miss the bomb grab, but if you fail somewhere halfway through, it's so much more difficult to use.
I'm not so sure about Cheese's decision on going for secrets first, because if he ends up messing plus again, he's like just wasted some time because this star is longer than the other one. And
Right, I mean,
he still has to do plus, and he already failed once, so...
I guess maybe he's trying to just purposely sink that cost in to make HMC early really unappealing in case he does fail this attempt and the next one, but... ooh, Toast with the fall of shame there, able to land on the IROC box, but Cheese, meanwhile, looks like this plus attempt is good. He's on the pyramid, and he's clipped right in. Okay, 2 for 3. Cannot complain about those odds whatsoever. He's also getting the fall of shame. Wow.
Oh, man. I've never seen 2 in one race, so I gotta say.
Yeah, no, it's. I don't think I ever have either. Yeah, that fall is really unfortunate. I haven't spent a whole lot of time with plus. Can you kind of shed some light on like what causes that? Is it just like you move too far to the right?
Oh yeah, to the left, I believe. You're just grabbing the star while it's like the hitbox is kind of off, so it's not above that little platform or fence, and you just miss it because the hitbox is a little bit just off.
And a nice star grab back up from Cheese there to pick up the Talon Star as Toast is going to be finishing out his count as well.
Very, very nice plus attempts from Cheese though after missing that first one. It's very scary to go into SSL after already having missed 1 plus.
Yep, although I think the mistake that he made was certainly one of the... If you're gonna rank the mistakes, I feel like it would be a better one to make. Because you know that the problem was just not holding A and B, or not pressing them together.
For sure. And that was a slight mistake from Cheese there on Reds, but he backed it up very nicely. Knew he was gonna get burned and just recovered very fast. Whereas Toast didn't have any trouble with the lock star. See if Cheese can match that.
Yeah, I mean, when you have access to that wing cap, you certainly don't expect a whole lot of issues with the log rolling star. And yes, thank you for answering the phone chat. Was not a horse sale this time around, so at least it was an actually productive call. At least I think it was. Someone else in the house answered it, so.
Got that issue out of the way, and there. Sorry.
Yeah, making nice little progress through triple L at the moment.
Oh, but that's kind of hard. He does have a really nice long jump though. Backs it up perfectly.
Yeah, if you have no momentum on that block, it's really difficult.
And you have that kind of thing, like, you can die by a slight misinput, so... Master of the situation, Cheese, right there.
Look at these nice synchronized star counts and all. These guys are really, really close, and if they can maintain this, that'll be going into Fire Sea, so... This will be a really, really exciting first race if that's the case.
For sure. And this is I don't know how their first race was. I only know it was synced in HNC, but I don't know if it was synced the whole race through up to that point.
There were some pretty substantial lead changes, but they were pretty close throughout.
Pretty much the same in skill, man. I thought when I first heard about this matchup, it's definitely gonna be like you think it can go either way, but looking at it now, it's I mean it still can go either way, but I thought one would have a massive meltdown anywhere, and but this is way closer than I expected it to be.
Yep. And she's gonna be moving in for Lava Boost with that slightly safer set. Interesting ending with that setup. What? Okay, you're gonna play it safe with the right side long jump boost, and then you're gonna do the pro ending like that. Okay, Cheese. Okay, yeah, Pogs in the chat, please. Wow, that was pretty
really
wild.
Insane. Yeah, you don't really see that anymore at all. I also saw him do like a jump off of the glitchy pole, like first pole, off of that little platform where you usually grab the pole, and that's a small burn.
Yeah, ending up taking... Fortunately, already having done Lava Boost is not really going to matter. Able to go for Elevator Tour just the same.
And if he would have still had to do Lava Boost, wouldn't have been bad because there are a few coins you can grab if you do end up doing the easier Lava Boost, so...
Yep. And since he... Oh, wow, look at this. Near synchronized, moving into Triple D. Let's see, first off, you know, I'm expecting, at the very least, Cheese, if not both of them, to go for front sub. Basically, is your only real option at this level.
I think Toast just saved a little bit of a fraction of time on that castle movement. He was a little bit further behind, I believe.
They're a quick skip text box behind. Wow.
That's actually insane.
And now welcome, folks, to Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. I am Doom Guy Fieri, number 2, and we will be reviewing this little interesting ditty of a seafood restaurant down by the shore. They call it the Dire Docks. And I'm going to go ahead and see if this place is actually a diner, a drive-in, or a dive.
I'm slowly walking away. I don't know what to say.
Nice chest star, though. Just amazing swimming from both of them. Wow.
Still pretty much.
Oh, but Toast going right over the star and doing. Wow, taking that down. I don't know if I've ever actually seen that warp happen downwards instead of upwards.
It's exactly. If you touch that wall, you just get downwards so fast. Well, I don't think it's. I guess it is a downward. I'm not sure if that's the correct terminology. But also 7 quid from Toastrider.
No! Oh my god! No! Not in this race. Not right now.
It was going so well.
The script is absolutely brutal at the moment. As Cheese going to be going in for front sub. Let's see what he's able to do. But ugh.
It's like that one tiny mistake and then a complete meltdown afterwards.
Cheese with a beautiful right side front sub though. First try.
That was wonderful. I think Toast is also the kind of guy to go for it, so definitely want to match Cheese on that. He's quite far behind now after that almost sink.
Yeah, that really, really unfortunate save quit. And he's got the camera set up. He is approaching as Cheese. Very nice quick mana array. That last ring looked a little bit sketchy, but the hitbox did spawn fast enough for him.
The really good leg reduction came a little bit slow on the star grab, but ooh, that was very nice front stop as well. So much happening once, but yeah, the leg reduction that Cheese did there is actually not too easy. The angle can easily mess you up.
Oh yeah, it has to be noted too that like when you're doing that lag reduction swimming, you're basically having to use a claw grip. You don't really have another choice since I'm pretty sure in most of those cases you have to be holding the camera button to hold the camera there.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it's certainly a big blessing that JRB isn't in 70 at all because that saves so much of that claw grip camera nip stuff from 70 star.
I don't think it's too bad in JRB, but that's specifically on Manta because you don't see the star there. Actually really hard to pull off, and she's on a beautiful lava boost early at least here with the old movement, not going for the easier one.
Yeah, with guys that have been doing this movement as long as they have, I'm certainly not too surprised, but...
Yeah, I'm like that as well. I haven't learned the new movement yet, so I like to go for the old one rather, but... ledge grab from Cheese, messing up the good ending. And at the same time, Toast is going for the new movement.
Yeah, really, really clean elevator red coin grab from him. Let's see how early he's able to make this lava boost cycle. So this new movement that they're talking about. Oh, taking that ledge grab there. Let's see if the time save does happen to be just enough to... Okay, yeah, no, he was missing lava boost, unfortunately, due to that ledge grab. So the movement inside of that caged box where there's the red coin in the corner and then the red coin underneath the little elevator, that movement has recently been kind of updated with a much easier jump off of the pole in the first place to collect the corner red coin first. And it saves just a teeny bit of time to make lava boost cycle a bit easier.
Toast messing up even more, adding to that 10-second loss of early LEs. Oh man. Yeah. But yeah, as you were saying, it is. I don't think it's really. It can be faster, maybe, but I think it also can be around the same, depending on how fast you are on the other movement, which is of course harder to pull off. So people tend to go for the newer, easier movement rather than the old one.
Yeah, and ultimately, what you have to remember is that both of those are just a means to an end, and that end is getting lava boost. So whichever way is more consistent for you to hit lava boost is really the one that you should do, ultimately. Because I think the new movement, you could maybe save like a few frames, maybe a second at most, if you hit like absolute perfection. But at the end of the day, all you're really hoping for is just making lava boost. Cheese with the nice, look like a single double there.
Yeah, went for the first one, but did miss a coin already, so he cannot lose another coin. Otherwise, he would have to go for the backup box at the end.
Yeah, and the skater RNG not quite playing to his benefit, unfortunately. Let's see if they treat toastrider any better.
Skater. Skating around.
And that's what we call them down here, down south, skaters. Me and my cousin went hunting the other day, and we just got ate up by them skaters.
Them skaters RNG. Alright, very nice coin box RNG for Cheese though. Oh, missed side flip input though. Does a front side flip instead of a back side flip.
Oh, barely able to nab that coin before it falls into the abyss.
Wow. Wow. That was kind of lucky in the unlucky situation. Ooh, and does go back for the one Shakia coin. But there's definitely one thing where you do want to have that one spare coin, because the Chucky RNG is probably one of the worst. I don't think the coin boxes are too bad, just sometimes they're awful. But the Chucky is more often so really bad.
Oh yeah, I do wonder. I'd have to like go back into a deep dive on Pan and Coex's channel. I wonder if somehow the enemy coin spawns have a little bit of a different like RNG seed than the coin boxes. Like if they're more likely to just spray everywhere.
Ooh, that's like a good question, and I actually don't know either if it's random or like different. Like
toastrider just not able to get that. I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
It's okay.
Because it doesn't feel like the same type of randomness. It definitely feels like the boxes have a lot more of a likelihood of doing like a dead drop right to the ground.
Exactly, and maybe it's also because you have to do different movement. You can't just, for the box, just jump up and grab all the coins while it's breaking. And for the checker, you kind of have to jump into the coins as they're like from a forward angle, I guess. You want to jump forward, and while you're doing that, you want to grab them. And yeah, for the coin box, you just jump up pretty much.
Ooh, she's missing that wall kick to end up getting on top of the crate, or cage, I guess it is, for top of the town. But ending up making it work with that more basic step-based movement.
Definitely want to take that rather than just falling down, which can easily happen. There's like a lot of lag on the triple jump, and especially with the water up, it gets even harder sometimes.
Yeah, and,
so I might
really
just want to take the easier way.
Yeah, and like the huge thing with lag is if you put in an A press right on a lag frame, it just will not go through. The game detects it. If you go in the practice ROM and watch like the in-game input display, it registers the press just fine. It's just because you put it in on a lag frame, the game doesn't have the chance to actually detect that you went from unpressed to pressed. So when it does actually detect it, it just thinks that you're holding A as if you're like trying to buffer a kick or something. It's one of those like really kind of honestly bad perks about the game. I don't know exactly what would be required from a comp-sci perspective to fix something like that, but that stuff like that is why front sub is so difficult, because you have to get your timing just dead on to avoid having your jumps just eaten.
Exactly. Same for this. The beautiful lag reduction from Cheese just doesn't want to have any lag there, and that was really clean. You can easily mess that up as well if there's too much lag, which you try to avoid with the Maricam. And it is almost a minute late for Cheese. I think it's around 49-50 seconds leaving withdrawal. It's so massively.
Yeah, and THI don't expect a whole lot to happen, especially after a nice clean secrets execution like what Cheese.
I wouldn't want to jinx it like that, because I've seen people fall off at the end as well. So I'm just gonna have to watch.
I mean, certainly true.
It is one of the easiest stages, I agree on that. But there's still something that can go wrong, which is secrets. The hardest stuff, but both runners, toastrider as well. Very clean secrets there.
They're just absolutely nailing it. Getting the nice little pancake ending to the star rather than having to deal with any sort of somewhat risky ledge grabs. Punkay lives in Kentucky, so I think EST because of that. I don't know exactly how the states correlate with time zones, unfortunately.
If only I would know as a European, but can't help out there.
Yeah, come on, you mean you don't know the exact time zone divisions of the US?
I'll try to get them down for the next stream, I'm sorry.
And then let me see if I pronounce this right. He is in Yeehaw, Kentucky. Land of the skaters.
And yeah, that was a really good, probably almost a gold kind of split for Cheese there. No mistakes in THI whatsoever.
I mean, really solid performance from both of them. As toastrider going to be going in to exterminate these piranhas. I thought that this was such an interesting bit of randomizer, how they actually randomize the piranha positions. It's something that I've never gone for because I hate it, but like I think it's cool at least.
When I first saw that, that was like a huge no. I'm not gonna attempt that.
Right? It's like, how am I gonna find these guys? Is the first question. I think in one seed I got really lucky, and there were like 2 on the beach area in the middle of THI, and then there were like 2 somewhere up the mountain. And so I went ahead and tried to go for the rest, but of course died somewhere.
Yeah, that's kind of really unlucky. I don't know about the piranha plants that randomized again. Oh, well, let's just wait because she's going for the nuts, reds. So beautiful, nails the mushroom rollout.
Why am I saying box rollout? Just standard rollout. This is not Dark World. That's like 20 minutes ago.
Just
saucy. Absolutely.
That gets an A- because he had to ground pound at the end instead of grabbing the star right away. But good enough to pass. I'm fine with that, Cheese. But then again, you do have 1 less backup star if you fall down on the log wall kicks.
And she's failing. Oh no, you get such a clean reds like that and then fail mountain clip. So rough.
He's actually just going for the mountain clip again instead of going for the box backup. Probably the smarter decision there, in case he ends up falling down.
Yep. And he's able to make that setup up the ramp work despite losing that speed like he did, as toastrider's going to go ahead and move in for the jumping mushroom star.
Oh, did
I've seen exactly
because he definitely fell down. toastrider. He took some damage. Oh, am I stupid? I might be.
No, I think you're right. He was using it as a backup. I'm just not sure exactly for what. TTM is such a fast-moving stage. It's certainly kind of difficult to monitor both players adequately whenever both of them are here at the same time. Cheese, though, very nice double mountain clip stars, just failing that first mountain clip. toastrider just not able to get the momentum to get up this ramp.
Also, really weird angle as well. He like kind of changed the angle. Maybe he just misinputted the A press and again.
He just cannot make his way to the tippy top. Everything up to the log wall kick, just perfect, but everything after, very, very risky. Or not even risky, just sloppy. Cheese, though, shooting off to the Lonely Mushroom. This just isn't exactly the way that they intend for you to blast to the Lonely Mushroom, but I mean, it works, so.
I'm pretty sure Cheese is still on a very, very good pace as well. He hasn't really been making many, like, huge mistakes. Kind of like a mid-48 pace still, if he plays good.
Very nutty run from Cheese, and toastrider on a very good run, just with some unfortunate mistakes, especially that save and quit. And Breezeless not quite going right for him, very nearly getting that clip in. As Cheese falls down from the snowman's head, he gets that difficult wall kick, but not able to finish out the star.
Alright,
gets managed to back up nice and quick. Yeah.
Exactly.
And let's see how Toast Reds go. Opting for that safe for long jump
dive, but still very nice. Oh, not even the set flip ending. All right. Still very clean though. Wow! Did you see? She's barely made it over that wall. That looked like he was gonna ledge grab that slight like wall, I guess.
Yeah, and then still managing a very, very nice ending to that star as well.
Yeah, that ground pound is definitely the hardest part. Like, even harder than making it over that wall. That was very clean by Cheese. I was for sure he might even miss the ground pound at the end, but... Good stuff.
Nice, pretty close, you know, not a full sync, maybe a dishwasher sink or so. I don't know what you would call like a half sync, but nice, pretty close star grabs.
I think dishwasher works. That's fine.
That save quit was like a full block of lasagna landing in my fridge. Same. I think that's about the only way to describe that.
And she's going with a pretty demanding lead into HMC. Kind of a stage where you can catch your breath after all that upstairs action.
Yep.
A hard stage, but Then after that is Tippy time. So
yeah, Reset Ride and Tsukishima's Torture Chamber, just absolutely unrelenting stages. I mean, even casually, it really just seems like, for whatever reason, the devs spent all of the land and platforms and such down in the rest of the castle, and so they only had like a few miscellaneous spinning platforms and like weird pendulum things, and they were like, okay, we'll just throw all these in and call them 2 stages. I don't know.
Good game design right there. You can just die anywhere at any time. It's pretty much like Dark World, but at the end of the run. So
yeah, Dark World, except it's a standard stage that you have to go through. Like, and it's really sad, like how fast everything is in TTC too. Like,
true.
I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like TTC and Womps are the only 2 levels that you do every single star in this run, and it's just because of how ridiculously fast they are.
If you end up doing the fastest routes, then yeah, that's correct. You do like both all stars.
And I mean, honestly, like the whenever you do the what is it, Stomp on the Thwomp standalone, like it feels like a little bit of a waste is a little bit too severe of a term, but it's like you're already doing a lot of the movement for TTC 100. Yes, you are saving yourself some difficulty, but I mean, it's a pretty long star standalone. It definitely, to me, feels like it'd be just a lot better to put the time in to work up 100 coin with it.
Yeah, that's how it feels for me now as well, but I'm also really used to TC100 already. I haven't done the standalone Thwomp in like forever. It does work if you're not too comfortable with the hard TTC100 movement, which is understandable. That star in particular is so hard, and that's a nice Christmas miracle from Cheese.
Yep, not even having to deal with that wall kick back up. Very, very nice. As Toast going to be entering HMC himself, kicking things off with the triple box jump. Ooh, but missing the actual jump off the box. Gonna have to back it up with Christmas Miracle. And you know, I was just about to say too that like, even though it looks pretty easy, it's actually, at least for me, pretty hard to get on top of that platform. Not even to even start the triple box jump. Just getting on top of that platform for me, I don't know what it is about it. It's just so inconsistent. I was trying to work up triple box for a while, and I just ended up putting it on the back burner just because of the platform. Not even because like the box jump is hard, but getting on top of the platform is just too much for me at the moment.
Yeah, it's like once you get, I actually always have to pay attention to what kind of angle I have after the door. So you do have to pay a lot of attention to that, but once you get that down, then you kind of start getting a feeling for that. I sometimes still mess up the angle and don't get the wall kick, so it can still go wrong.
Yeah, and certainly one of the more brutal facets of this game, how like Mario won't change his angle after you commit to a jump. So even though like you're pulling the stick to the left, trying to desperately to move Mario to the left, if your starting angle is just a little bit off, you'll never get that wall kick, and it's just, you know, it's one of those things that it's both a blessing and a curse. It makes some strats in this game possible that I don't think would be possible in other platformers. But at the same time, it really is unforgiving when you just need a little bit of an angle change and the game just cannot give it to you physically.
Yeah, exactly. And Cheese actually had like a mid-39 at HNC time on the last star, and that's a mid-48 for him going into Tippy, so that's a super good pace. Leaving Toast in the dust with kind of like yeah, probably gonna be a mid-49 pace. Is that? She's going for the kind of all the Kiddo Bounce and messing it that last triple jump up, the last jump.
Yeah, probably would have worked for him otherwise. So unfortunate little fail there, but you know, being the first star, he's able to go ahead and back it up pretty cleanly with Reds.
That's kind of, if you do end up failing like that, you always feel, I feel super scared for the second try like Kiddo Bounce. I don't know if every runner knows that feel, but you do like the first thing you do in Tippy, you can die anywhere, and you mess up the first star and have to try it again. It's kind of not a good premise for your Tippy.
Yeah, and especially when you end up like failing Lakitu Bounce and having to use tricky triangles or swinging in the breeze as a backup, it just, you're just sitting there thinking, man, I'm losing so much time to this backup. And like once you run out of both of those, then it's like, well, okay, like Monka Extreme.
But Cheese proving me wrong, not showing any wet on the hands. And Toast
very,
but seen it the other day.
Huge death. Wow. That's
actually
really, really far down there.
I've actually just seen that happened in a race against Rockchuck, I think, as well. Just the same mistake, not getting the bounce on the Lucky Toe. Oh, it seems like something he struggles a lot with.
Yeah, and I mean, again, what? Oh, and just he gets the kick, and the Lakitu just in a bad position. I'm not sure how he would have been able to save that, as Cheese takes a just frames early ground pound, wasting a second and a half or so before that star.
Yeah, I think what Toast did wrong, he jumped too high on the double jump, because you kind of want to have a low to mid double jump, not too low, but quite low. And if you don't get that, like, he's just gonna go out of his way and not be close to the upper platform, because of how much time the second double jump takes. So he just got some time to move.
Yep, and Cheese going to be making his way out of Rainbow Ride pretty well unscathed. Just that first pretty quick Lakitu bounce fail, as Toast does manage to get Lakitu bounce this try, and is going to be moving on into swinging and that red coin maze. Really unfortunate, though, when you have to delay red coins so much just because of those repeated fails. As Cheese moves into TTC 100.
As we were saying earlier, this star is hard and has a lot of RNG. That's probably why it's so hard, because all of the coin boxes can end up being super brutal, like coins falling down.
Yeah, and the movement is just so precise in so many of these sections. In particular, going from this 60 all the way up into about like the 80-90 coin range.
Yeah, exactly. That beginning was super clean though, which is probably one of the hardest parts of TTC 100. The coin boxes can go wrong, but that's not in your power. In terms of movement, that beginning is quite hard though.
And the invisible walls appear to... What even? Jeez. What? Speaking literally a second too soon. That is a weird invis wall right there. Wow. But she's managing to pull off a super clean backup there. And TTC 100 finished out before Toastrider is able to make it out of Rainbow Ride. Very, very good start to this TTC from Cheese.
100% agreed. And now the time moving stars, also not so easy, but not as bad as, like, after getting a good TTC 100, you feel TTC. That's when you know it's gonna go right. So hopefully Cheese can keep that flow. And goes for the first one. That looks really nice.
Yeah, Toast certainly doesn't look like he'll be able to pull out this race one, which is going to put him in a pretty big predicament. Going to have to win out these next two races if he wants to move this on to a match 3.
This definitely looks like a really huge lead, but I don't want to hit the nail in the coffin just yet, because
yeah, you can take some pretty costly deaths going up to time jumps or pitting the pendulums. They can cause some pretty weird deaths, as Toast very, very nearly falling substantially down instead of getting that side flip, but is able to recover pretty gracefully. Now he's at the kind of point of critical mass, those 70 coins. We saw that in Viswall on Cheese's side. Does manage to avoid it.
That's so weird. He was so close to the hand as well. It was like kind of the same position to me as Cheese was in, but he didn't hit the wall at all. That place is weird.
Yeah, just a really that entire, like, I would say, like, last floor or so of the clock is just it doesn't make sense. Especially like when you start getting invis walls in random places. It's just like, why? What about the geometry makes you think I hit something?
Yeah, exactly. And that is not like the only place in this stage, but definitely the one where it happens the most, because runners are never ready for that one on the hand on top.
Yep. And Toast, nice little roll into the cage.
And she's almost a nice moving bars, but slight bad angle there at the end. Oh man, no big room for Toast to like catch up. No mistakes, nothing from Cheese. No big mistakes, and Toast sliding on the platform, spinning platform, falls all the way down. I'm not able to get up the first. Alright, going for the moving red's backup though.
Yeah, and he's making it work decently well with those repeated kicks, and beautiful.
Under control. Very nice. But still, Cheese is already out of there.
Yeah,
And
Cheese
still
pretty
has to
well
get-
in go mode. Gets Toad last, the superior third of a second time save gang.
Exactly. Toast still has to get 3 stars in TC. He did get Toad first. So, really far behind.
Why is it that people end up going for Toad first? Is it just like if you mess up some of the castle movement leading to the clock?
Oh yeah, there's actually no like good comparison yet. So I think Toad after doesn't save too much, and it's very easy to mess the movement up. Yeah. So it's not the like, it's too risky for some people to go for it because it's not really worth saving a few frames.
And real quick, Cheese having some issues with the bits loading zone. Just trying to do some real cheeky speed movement to get inside there, and having to take a few extra seconds to be able to actually line up with the hole again.
Oh, and again. All right. How beautiful! Like after that mess up at the entrance, though, this bit is actually on fire right now. She's not slowing down at all, going for moving right side. Let's see if he can pulls it off with no problem whatsoever. Nice triple jump at the end as well. Dude, she just isn't slowing down. And okay, goes for the dive at the end too. This man. Yeah, I think at this point it's safe to say that Toast is not coming back.
Yeah, it would take some pretty substantial missed throws. About on the tier with the telemarketers that don't seem to understand the importance of GSA comms. If you're working for any sort of telemarketing organization, please find a new job.
Oh, and that's a missed blow. Only 5,000 more for Toast to come back. Yeah, that is. She's taking game 1 and he only has to win 1 more game.
Ooh, and Toast Rider with that bonk, and yeah, people blaming comms for not quite noticing that Toast grabbed the same star twice, but in my defense, I was being bothered by the Firefighters Support Association? I don't even know. It was a robocall. I don't even know.
I was watching Cheese. He had just such a fire blitz going.
With a 48-55, wow. With that entrance, I wasn't quite thinking that he was going to be able to pull off that 48, but making it very, very clean.
Let's see if Toast is gonna finish this one. Seems like he's just gonna grab that 50. Oh, punches as well. Just completely slowing down on that slope.
Has anyone done a 47 in a race? Yes, I believe there's been 1 or 2 people.
I actually can't recall anyone getting a 47 in a race. I know that Tago has gotten 1,000,000 47s, but those were during attempts.
Ooh, and Toast Rider not able to get this right side working. Able to get it on that 3rd try, though, fortunately.
Still can grab that high 50, but going up against the high 48, too. That's scary.
Oh, but Toast taking a death instead of a dive there! And, okay, Punkay confirming no 47 in a race. That's it's a 48.0x, I think, is the race record, and that is Punkay's. I want to say it's 48.08. It's his form of PB.
I think Toast just wanted to triple jump and try to save it with a kick, but he was too far to the right and couldn't save it in time.
Yeah, just not able to make that work really in any context.
And it's all thanks to you.
Unlucky. And it seems like he's given up after that death. Just a quick break. This is a best of 3 after all, so these runners definitely need their breaks as well before going straight up into the next one.
Yep, and especially if you're Toast Rider, I'm sure that you're wanting a break. Because, I mean, he's certainly got to be feeling that pressure. He's got to win these next 2 races just to be able to face Cheese in a 3rd match for that potential playoff spot. And, when you've already been beaten 3-0 like he has, it certainly feels very, very daunting. And he's going to have a lot to overcome mentality-wise to end up being able to pull this win off.
Exactly, it's just so much pressure. Maybe in some cases pressure helps you try to stay focused a lot better, but I also think that the kind of position Cheese is in just helps him a lot more to stay focused and not get distressed at all. And seeing how he has played already, it's probably just gonna continue like that.
It's me, Mario.
Alright, he's already booting up the game. And Toast seems like he's just gonna practice bits. After what happened before, I can understand that. Just wanna refresh this stage before being there in the next race.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe even needs to go ahead and get a little bit of practice on that save and quit rather than continue without saving.
Yeah, it's kind of the kind of stuff you can't practice much. It's just a slip up there happens so easily that I don't think you can do much practice about it sometimes. Like, I don't know. It either works or it's just one tiny mistake.
Yep, and for those who are curious, the phone is on silent now, so if I get any more calls about horse sales or fireman support or whatever it happens to be, you will not hear the ringer.
Commentator has learned his lesson, now ready to commentate the next match.
Yeah, phoneless. You know, I have now learned how to silence the phone. I have never needed to do that before, so yeah. And yes, for those that are just now joining us, their time zones are different enough that they weren't able to schedule a match.
Did you just see that grab from toastrider? He was so far away from Bowser's tail, but still grabbed him and kind of teleported into Mario's hands.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, it's no problem. But yeah, this run is actually or this set of races, because of their time zone differences, they weren't able to schedule a good time to have the race and have people watch it live unless it were at just like some really inaccessible time. So they went ahead and agreed to do the race offline with a moderator, making sure everything was cool as far as like cheat prevention and stuff. And we're just replaying those results live for you. We don't actually know the results of these 3 races though. Like, we didn't know that Cheese was going to take that first race. We don't even know if we're about to see the last race between these two, or if there's going to be a race 3 or even another set of matches on another day. We just have no idea. So, even though, yes, this is pre-recorded, it's only because of those scheduling differences, and only those 2 racers know the actual results of that race. So.
Exactly. Just something that I've just noticed. Alright, Puncation got 48s in all 4 races, right? Or did he?
Yeah. They were actually within 30 seconds of each other, too.
Puncation got all 48s, like mid 48s. Cheese has been playing super well. I think he's gotten 49s in his first 2 races and now 48. And I'm also a pace contender, and I've gotten like low 49s all 4 races. And that's going into pace. Like, if Cheese wins now, that such close matchups coming like at pace. It's actually kind of insane.
Yeah. And I mean, toastrider too, aside from this unfortunate DNF, those first 2 races against Cheese were both, I believe, mid-low 49s. So whichever one of these guys moves on to face Punkay, they will have their work cut out for him against the Consistency King, but it is not an insurmountable mountain to climb. That is for sure.
Definitely. It's actually, like, pace is gonna be so hard. Speaking of which, if you want more info, !pace if you don't know yet, for whatever reason.
Yep, that is the live finals of our current leagues. That is this 70-star league, as well as the Odyssey and Celeste any % leagues. All of the semi and grand finals will be live at pace, as well as some really awesome showcase marathon runs and races. So if you aren't going to be able to attend live, which we'd love to see you there, and registration is still open, so you can get tickets right now if you want to. But if you're not able to be there live with us, be sure to watch on Twitch. We will be streaming the entire event. So I'm super, super excited for it, especially now that it's just within a couple of weeks.
It's gonna be lit. There's so much I'm looking forward to, and I can't wait to meet everyone.
Yep, same. Just so much same. It's just going to be such a great few days.
And it's like a kind of a small event, I guess, 100 attendees, so you can actually get to meet a lot of people, and it's kind of closer, I guess, than a GDQ, which is massive, filled with people.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting dynamic. I feel like kind of similar to the earlier GDQs where they were less attended, but at the same time, like, there will be that really... toastrider with that ground pound instead of a long jump to go ahead and start off this castle movement. Fortunately, is able to avoid talking to Lakitu this time around. Now, let's see if he is able to avoid the meltdown in VOB.
That random pause in the beginning, I still don't know what that was. Might have to ask her afterwards what was going on there.
Yeah, certainly really interesting.
A much better bomb clip this time though. Didn't fall down like in the first race.
Yup, exactly. Just so much better of a start from Toast. If this would have been the start last time, he would have ended up coming out from Womps with a decent lead. But fortunately, just some pretty big issues. And
I'm sorry.
wow,
He just jumped into the wall and didn't get a wall kick because he barely had any speed, and then his angle was all messed up.
It was just wow.
The kind of mistake you don't really see. I wasn't ready for that. But I'm guessing a 0.7 for Cheese and a 0.8 for Toast without knowing how the bounce is.
A nice 12.7 from Cheese.
That looks like a 0.6, but 0.7, okay.
You know, commentator waiting until the very, very end to make his guess and still not quite accurate. You know,
I actually said for Toast 0.8 before as well. But yeah, then I saw the bounce and actually thought it was gonna be 0.6. That was a really clean bounce.
Oh yeah.
And once again, Worms, hard stage, and we did see Cheese messing up a lot in Worms in this last race. But Toast was able to catch up after missing the Lakitu skip. So did have that better Worms in the first one over Cheese.
Yep, as Cheese with a nice cannon list to go ahead and start off. Toast Rider. Ooh, with the Owless fail. Are we seeing a reversal of these two screens this time around? Ooh, and not even able to get the wall kick this time around. Just a brutal angle.
Yeah, it didn't even look too bad, but definitely saw he was not ready for that.
Instead of actually getting on top of the island.
Oh,
what a meltdown already, and they haven't even gotten into Womp's 100 coin. Is able to get it on that third try as Cheese able to get that nice little fence balance immediately. So Cheese nearly a full star ahead, and they haven't even gotten into the real meat of Womps yet.
Yeah, those are usually the kind of stars that people don't struggle too much with. It starts with like 100 coins, I would say, but yeah, Owls is still a brutal star. It's not free.
Oh yeah, there's really no skill level where it's truly free unless you just put insane time into it.
And now the almost sync, just 1 star ahead, and a little bit out of sync as well. Oh wow. Toast still grabbing that cycle, but he did miss 1 coin already, so he's 1 coin short. Has to grab backup coins at the end, and at the same time, Cheese missing the blue coin has to wait for this one. It's not too bad, so it didn't fall down or something. Cheese didn't fall down, the blue coin did.
Yeah, I certainly wonder which one of those two. I think Cheese's mistake, probably losing overall more time.
I have to correct myself. Toast actually has enough coins here. I thought he was missing 1, but
most of oh, okay. Yeah, I think the route pretty well ensures that you'll only need 4 out of that line of 5 at the end.
Oh yeah, that might be. I thought he missed 1 in the beginning. Oh wait, you can miss 2 coins. That's right. I forgot. He only missed 2 and not 3, so he was fine.
Oh, okay. And yeah, perfectly optimal Owl doesn't lose a whole lot of time, but you do also have to remember that you have to menu over to a later star in order to get the Owl to spawn in the first place. Which also means that you have to have the Fortress spawn, which causes some lag.
Yeah, I think even with that, it's around 4 seconds is what I always hear. Maybe?
For some reason, I always thought it was 8. But that may be like...
Well, 8 actually sounds like a lot, because as soon as you mess up Owls once, you already lose time over the Owl. So...
Okay, yeah, so that makes sense that it's probably less than 8 then, like somewhere around 4 or 5. I would have thought it was more substantial. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's actually not that much at all. So, definitely good for new runners. I was always the kind of guy who goes for the hard squares and fails them brutally, but it adds up at the end. You get used to it.
I mean, with something like Alice, it's one of those things that, like, when you're first starting out, you definitely shouldn't, like, invest 8-10 hours into it or anything. Toaster is dead. Toasted. Oh, barely survived. Okay, I forgot exactly how those slopes were laid out.
Yeah, he didn't get the bad ledge grab, but that's still a massive mistake. Oh, ouch. Jesus,
he's
so
able to make
far
his way
ahead out
back
of
up top.
Worms now.
Yeah, he's able to get the Fortress start before Toastrider has even landed that second ground pound on the King Womp. Wow.
And that was a 6:39 for Cheese. That's a really good Worms time for a race.
I don't think he's really made any mistakes up to this point, has he?
Not really, like, no. Maybe just really slight movement errors. I think a really good Worms time is around 6:35, but that is if you are perfect on every single strat, so...
Yeah, and he did also go for the full setup instead of...
Oh yeah, right.
texture.
That's around 2 seconds as well.
Oh yeah, and that blue coin miss. So those two mistakes right there account for everything that he lost over
definitely.
at Womps.
Definitely.
Toastrider, meanwhile, getting a 7:22. Certainly not the type of time you want to be starting out Womps Fortress with, unfortunately.
Almost like a minute behind, and Cheese is looking so much better in his first race as well, so he's not... Doesn't seem like he wants to slow down whatsoever.
Beautiful flying yet again, and it's certainly worth mentioning for those that don't realize it. Flying is one of those things that is a lot harder on a full read than on an OEM controller, because the way that the flying is designed kind of takes into consideration the OEM stick's limited range. And so you're having to do a lot more like pulsing the stick and like just having to like move the stick around way closer to the neutral center on a Hori than you would on an OEM controller.
Yeah, and Hori, of course, being so sensitive, it's actually really hard to get like... Because if you press up, for example, something and you have a lot of speed while flying, you just shoot downwards so fast. So you usually don't want to hold completely up, and it's so hard to like with Hori and have these super like slight inputs. You don't press the control stick too much, you know?
Yeah, it's the range to like be comparable with an OEM N64 stick optimal flying is a lot tighter. I feel like the thumb movement has to be more precise.
But I think it's also, if you're used to it, it's really easy to like be precise with OEM, because it's... I prefer it, of course. That's probably why I say that. I think Hori's kind of hard to use for all movement. But she's proving me a little bit wrong. Gets a really nice Shigure cycle. And a double firsties at top now off.
Beautiful. Wow. Very, very nice closing movement. Very confident in those double firsties. And yeah, I definitely think it's fair to say that Hori has a much steeper learning curve, or maybe not much steeper, but it is definitely steeper.
That's also kind of interesting. Maybe it's just depending on what people like are easier used to. You can be like a different person and then that's why, because you like Hori as well. I think that's also something to take into consideration, that like the way people learn, for example.
Yeah, it's like a lot of things in speedrunning. It just kind of comes down to personal preference and what equipment makes you feel most comfortable with the
Toast
game.
again. Sorry to interrupt you, but Toast...
It's like he started with the double firsty movement and then realized that the second one didn't come out. But this time around, he managed to pull the backup off pretty well.
And Cheese was getting a 946. Like, he's holding on to that sick beginning. 946 Dark World fade out is really good.
And really nice kick to go ahead and start off sky jump here. Just beautifully clean movement. Man, I wish I could manage that. I've gotten that movement once.
Wow. Yeah, it is tough. I remember having a lot of trouble with sky jump as well when I started out. It's a tough star. It's just like getting a lot of speed for the triple jump in the correct angle, and then also hitting the triple jump is not that easy in the beginning.
Yeah, and when you're not like the most familiar with flying, it takes some getting used to. Like, it feels very counterintuitive, but you have to like start out right after the triple, still holding like up left, and it's like for whatever weird reason, the stick movement that you end up doing it's very counterintuitive, but it like almost gives you a like little boost in midair. It's very weird how it works. As Cheese pulling off really, really nice wall kicks will work, just working a bit differently than Dev intended.
Very clean start for Cheese, and Toast is still like now playing a lot better though than in Worms. He did have a nice Dark World until that ending, so not too bad compared to what happened in Worms.
Yep.
And we're probably gonna see the CCM 17 again from Cheese and CCM 18 from Toast, now that we know what they're familiar with.
And a nice wall kicks will work 2 for 2 on both these guys' screens. That's what you love to see.
Alright, now the one that coins for Cheese. Again, I like to say it once more. The Penguin is... I haven't mentioned that the Penguin can just randomly fall off. That's something that can also happen, and why I think CCM 18 is kind of stupid. I did see it happen in a race too, that the Penguin just falls off the slide and then you can't finish the race. And
I've never actually seen that. I didn't know that was possible. Yeah, I knew that he could push you off due to that just insane rubber banding. It's really weird how much he speeds up and slows down.
I did actually not known what causes the Penguin to fall off. It just kind of happens. Maybe it's specific inputs, but it's not really known yet.
Yeah, that's really fascinating. I haven't seen. Has that happened in a GSA race? Oh,
yeah,
Pod's Dragon saying it happened to Cartoon Buffoon.
Yeah, exactly. And he still won that race too.
Did you see that Toast Rider moonwalk? He like almost had just a super clean one. It had like a weird little bit of a flub, but then backed it up really nicely.
Yeah, he like right before the door, he just flew to the left. I don't know why he inputted that angle, but managed to save it. Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of like Waterfall West or something from OOT, like where you have to do that weird ESS turn in the corner. That's what it looked like to me almost.
Alright, and once again we see the small rotting difference. Cheese just being ahead a little bit. Oh my god!
Long jump into death? What?
Gets hit by the ceiling. He doesn't bonk or anything. He's just jumping into the ceiling, which pushed him down.
What a way to start off CCM 18. That's really unfortunate. As meanwhile, you know, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Commentator's Curse doesn't quite apply to pre-recorded races. Punkade pointing out that Cheese's exit time from CCM was pretty nutty for a race, especially without Island Hop.
It is. 13-12 is really good. Like on a super good run, Tago maybe gets, or even Cheese, they probably both can get like sub 13, which would be optimal and perfect. So 13-12 in a race, super good.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing like within 12 seconds of really great times for like each given like 12-13 minute segment, that's you're on some pretty insane pace. That would probably put you pretty firmly in 47 territory.
Definitely. And now Toast, no more trouble on CCM 18 though. Not. I would have guessed that he might have trouble with the Penguin, but I didn't expect such a death there. And it's so unlucky.
And so Cheese gonna be making his way down into the basement as Toast Rider hasn't even touched the Big Boo's Hawn. What a unfortunate start to such a vital match for Toast.
Yeah, and the Palace Star isn't too long, so Toast is still gonna be BBH if Cheese gets his like clean first Palace, which Toast of course doesn't have to do, but he's still gonna have that huge lead.
And Artemis going AFK as the restreamer, having to ask chat what the results of the match was so far. So there you go. In case anyone was debating whether we actually don't know anything about these matches, there you go. Even the restreamer doesn't quite know what's going on.
The commentator saving himself, kinda. We don't need to pay attention to the race, but oh my god, Toast just lights off. Okay.
What even? Yeah, as Cheese also... Okay, he started off the second... That looked like a bit of a monka on that regrab there. That just didn't quite look right. Like I said, I haven't messed enough with Ples to really understand the trick super fluidly, but I think he was kind of close to ending up like that very first attempt that he did, where he threw the bomb without even like jumping back into it, or well, whatever it was that happened from hitting A and B a little bit apart.
For sure. Oh well.
Toad's going to
Guess
be
the
going
first-
into the big boo, and yeah, Cheese is setting himself up for a nice kind of 2 for 3 plus SSL yet again.
If he gets the bomb jump, that was very good. Gets the regrab as well. Does the jump off the slope, which I've never even tried because I think Thermoplas is easier than that, but might be wrong.
Oh, not able to get that clip the first try, able to go back down just a little bit.
Gets the second one as well though, without too much trouble. Looking so strong, nice too. Like this is gonna be mid to high 17 SSL time, which is still, after all these mistakes, super good. Alright, and Toast still has to do Pilalas. Is not safe from that yet, while she's already leaving SSL. Just so much that Toast has to hope for to come back from this. Like all these mistakes in the beginning, and now the lead for Cheese. Just managed to get the medium bomb plus though. Okay. I didn't even catch the beginning, but wow. Mess of the situation there this time. Because
Yeah,
in my opinion, medium bomb is so much harder than regular bomb.
Yep. For a trick like bomb clip, it's totally usable. There's not much of a difference, just aside from the little bit of time waste. But because of the momentum that you need to be able to get over some of these death planes in Plus, it's pretty brutal when you have to deal with medium bomb.
Yeah, you have so little speed and have to do an extra, like, well-spaced ground pound. And then you also have to time the double jump, the glitchy double jump at the end correctly as well. Which is slightly off timing because you don't have as much speed as with the other bomb. Whereas Cheese is starting out to fill on very nicely. No troubles whatsoever. I accept that side flip before the start, but I just saw that in the stream. That's not enough for Toast to catch up. Maybe a few million more of that and Toast is back in the race. Ooh, and goes for the second ledge grab skip. Misses the dive onto the platform though. That was almost really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing like... Okay. Wow, the directions on Toast. Notice that he had a slight angle, like, very far off.
And Toast missing that 7th red there, unfortunately.
Yeah, as well. But yeah, I managed to save that wrong angle by holding back or to the left a little bit. Avoiding the burn.
And she's going in for lava boost. 2 for 2.
If he does that. Let's see if he does that crazy move.
This is the jump there. No.
Also, it gets burned as well. Decides to jump. Okay, what is he just gonna climb up? Okay.
That looks like, yep, that's his. Wow.
Okay,
I mean, honestly, like, with having to
elevator.
re-grab those coins, I guess it makes sense. Taking that burn, they're gonna have to take a couple of jumps to make sure he's got safe movement.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe he doesn't want to bother with the elevator star because the angle is like the camera is in a way different position as well. You have to get up there with the flame cycle being different. Toastrider bumping the bully. Stopping him from long jumping, but all good. But yeah, definitely something where Toastrider already capitalized on. He had a really clean lava boost. Still 2 stars down though.
Yeah, when you have one guy fail after lava boost, like failing the ending, and then repeatedly, and then having to like run all the way back up the volcano, and yet you're still 2 stars behind, that just really goes to show how unfortunate of a start Toast ended up having to this race just due to those small deaths.
Worms and CCM, dude. CCM is something where you don't really expect that. Maybe from walking to work, but not from the long jump on to the bridge.
Yeah, that was just such a wild mistake. Oh, Wilco rating with a party of 38. Shoutouts to Wilco. Hope your stream went well, man. What is Wilco doing nowadays? Last time I caught his stream, he was doing 120 practice. Have you moved into runs yet?
It's probably best if he just tells us that. I think he's still doing practice. Maybe he's finished now and does runs again. I think he does runs. Yeah, I watched him do runs. I almost forgot that.
Yeah, I'll have to make sure to stop on by. Always gotta catch those 120 runs when they come around.
Just from cheese. Playing swimming. Swimming is not as easy as it might seem. Used like they could something. Let me put this right. It's something we cannot see if you're losing time or not, because you can have very tight turns on every single chest, for example. And if you don't, that's still fine. You don't lose a whole like much on one turn, but that adds up if you have horrible turns on every single one, and then can easily lose like a second, and you wouldn't even notice.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to flying. There's a lot of time to lose to swimming just from like weird turns and such.
Yeah, it's not even that easy to see, which is kind of interesting. And going for the front step again, let's see if he can pull it off again, but misses the swim, doesn't have enough speed, just gonna go for the back up left side.
Making it work first try though, still saving a tiny bit of time over that rear sub.
We did see, that's something Toast can also again save time on. He managed to pull off easily in the last race too. But man, it's just too big of a lead still.
Yeah, it's really just toastrider has not been playing especially badly. It's just been some really, really brutal big mistakes on his end.
Exactly. I don't think he was ready for that long jump. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't ever think he would get stuck like that. And now, I mean, he could save time, of course, on frontside I was saying that. He can capitalize on Cheese's mistake, but that's not enough to put him back into the, like, race too good. I don't know. It's just not enough time save.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Unless Cheese makes some pretty major equivalent errors in his late game, but you know, Cheese kind of known for having some really, really wild upstairs time, so...
it does add up, of course, but you never know if Cheese is gonna continue to make small mistakes or not. So, has a beautiful lava boost early at least. Once again.
Yeah, honestly, it's more surprising when he doesn't manage to hit lava boost.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And Wilco showing off that BTTV does have both a bread and cheese emote, so go ahead and voice your support with one of those two. It's just
toastrider actually missed it. Commentator completely not paying attention because
oh wow, yeah, sorry,
I was looking at the chat as well and completely missed the star.
Yeah, normally that star grab is so free. I'm not sure exactly what happened with that. Wow.
Yeah, just slightly missed the star and probably like swam down a little bit. Wow.
And Toast managing to get through Triple D without a save and quit, that's really, really nice to see.
Pretty happy about that, but he already had that massive mistake. His first race was looking so much better than this one.
Let's see if Toast can avoid that ledge grab to go ahead and match Cheese's lava boost here with that new movement.
Looking good so far.
Yep,
nice
and no ledge grab.
That looks good.
Yeah,
fix
you
it.
can kind of see just that little bit of save there. You get pretty deep on that platform if you get that movement really solid and get that lava boost.
Seems to have the ending down as well. It's a really nice ending too. And she's still got a 25 fire seed. That is a really good time. Like a high 25 is definitely still a 48.
Yeah, really still has not made any sort of wild mistakes either. I mean, that's really what this has been, is just toastrider kind of absorbing all those major mistakes, but then she's getting just completely bopped by the RNG
Speaking
from
of,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of wild mistakes,
Oh, and ledge grabbing, gonna just
And
take that
RNG
ground pound there.
But
Wow.
RNG doesn't treat him well at all. He only like fell down in the volcano and leave lava land, as in terms of big mistakes. And Dawson
Yeah, true.
gets stuck on the wall. Okay, taking him for a ride. This with our 100.
Let's see if he's able to pull off some more consistency later on here. As he's able to make a very nice and clean secret 3. Gets that clean ledge grab. Nice coin RNG from that box at least. They are starting to kind of go more towards his favor.
Alright, just one more 10 bucks on the chuck and he's good. Alright, after that beginning RNG, boxes are not too bad.
Chucka, please do something nice. Please. Okay, wow. Very dead spread overall. Just that unfortunate one coin kind of going off to the wayside.
Yeah, I think if he jumped like a little bit more to the right, he could have gotten every coin. It's not something you really can do much about because it's so tight to grab every coin there. Just also having a little bit of trouble grabbing these first boxes. Really nice skater RNG though. Sorry, skater RNG.
See, it's not a skater. What you're trying to do is bring the E's as close to an A as possible, but make it clear that there's still E's. So, skater.
Oh, okay. I think I understand.
Yeah. See, basically, the southern accent is really just forgetting exactly which vowels do what. That's kind of the crux of it. You just kind of like mix them all together in a pot and hope for the best.
Ooh. While we were talking about that though, Toaster is having a really nice rest of 100 coins. Well, of course, as I say that, missed chuck here, but not too bad.
Yeah. Oh, but ending up taking the long jump under the plank instead of over. He's gonna try backing this up. Oh!
I've
seen people try that back up. I don't think I've ever seen anyone get it.
Yeah, I've seen him do the exact same mistake. I think his angle was really far.
Oh, every time! No, dude. Toast. How? No, man. This is not at all what you want to see this late into this race. Why didn't he just take that long jump there? That long jump was so free.
No idea. But he was doing really well, like kind of catching up to Cheese after that beginning. Because Cheese has small mistakes here and there. But now all of that for nothing. Falls right back into the hole.
Yeah, and Keysby asking the real questions. How do you fit this much spaghetti on a single piece of toast? I really don't know. Like the toast that Toast must be riding, it must be just like it must be like a loaf of bread sliced horizontally, not vertically.
Yeah, if he's gonna be able to sit on that, he can probably also put a lot of spaghetti on it, as we can see.
Oh, she's taking a death after secrets,
Okay.
though. Exactly what we were talking about in that first race is the potential for you to just kind of slide right off there.
Exactly.
I'm not even sure what happened there. Wow.
It looked to me like he was kind of like jumping onto that slope and then... I'm not sure. Okay, let's see if he can... Gets really nice leg projections though. He had a really good start. After that I switched to Toast because I thought he had this ending for sure. But I think he accidentally pressed A.
And he does get it this time around. Oh, yeah, he tried to do a kick and it ended up coming out as a dive due to the speed. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, that's brutal. Wow.
Yeah, shoutouts to Nintendo wanting to be different from Sega. They only include an A and B button on the controller, no C button, and so when it came time to figure out how exactly to program dives and kicks, they just said, let's use the same button. No one's ever going to try to play this game fast.
Now, I think that's one thing that's very good about this game, because it adds a certain, like, it gets harder. I can't
Yeah,
think of the word
it
right now.
adds like
exactly.
like
adds
it increases
difficulty
the
and
height of
challenge.
that skill ceiling with stuff like speed kicks and stuff that you have to contend with.
Exactly. And you have to be really careful. That's what I really like about this game. The skill ceiling is so high, and your inputs just matter so much for every single thing you do.
Yep, and meanwhile, we've got 5 tier 1 gift subs from Adam Zeddy. Thank you so much, Adam. Let's go ahead and see some speedrun fires. GSA fire. Let's see those clocks. Let's see some pogs.
A big pog. Sick, dude. Thank you so much. Other than that, though, of course, THI won quite nicely for Cheese.
Yep, and I mean, now they are back. Well, Cheese leaving the stage that Toastrider is entering, so at least a little bit closer overall.
Definitely. And I'm scared of how Toast continues to do in this race, because we were also saying earlier that speedrunning is so like momentum based, like the flow kind of gets ruined, and if you already like kind of play like this, it's hard to come back and get a rhythm or how to nail everything first try and stuff like that. It doesn't get the turnaround on the second time as well. Cheese not able to turn around, but third time.
Finally able to get the yep. And real quick, just worth noting, Adam Zeddy does not even have his own subscription to the channel, so he just gifted 5 subs while not actually getting the GSA Fire of his own. That's really where you know that someone's being charitable when they go ahead and give out more subs than even they have.
Very nice from him.
And
again. Goes for the dive again.
Yeah, nice nutty roll out there.
That angle is really close to the wall, just has to go a little bit off. Alright. I had to back off a little bit, I mean. So nice. And doesn't catch the star again, but that was still really clean. TTM Reds.
Yeah, once you get that 8th red so cleanly, I mean, the star grab obviously will save some time if you do it right, but it's just, you can't really take the small miss star grab and use that to take away from just that.
Yeah, I think it's just that I've done that star so much that
it's just missing the star is just like the whipped cream getting shaken a little bit before the dessert gets to the table.
Exactly.
It doesn't quite look as great as it could have, but still going to taste really nice, and ultimately the presentation is still there. Toastrider having to kick his way up this slope.
Yeah,
it's really unfortunate when you miss that triple like that. And missing the wall kick! There goes 20 seconds.
So close to the wall! No, he was so close to the wall, it didn't really look like he had much time to even see where the wall kick is coming from.
Yeah, that's one thing that certainly, like with the low res textures of the game, it's hard sometimes to tell when exactly Mario is going to collide with the wall. And when you're needing to time your wall kicks, and especially when not every frame of a wall kick will work, that just adds yet another layer of pretty wild difficulty.
Yeah, the thing there was because there was one wall that is slightly angled differently, and he could not wall kick off of that wall. And because of the wall, it was so hard to see when he was able to wall kick. Definitely messed him up, but he did get that first like every single time he tried it on the log.
Yeah, and that first you off the log is kind of nice so that you don't have to deal at all with that ledge grab off the platform. And shoutouts to Sanklopen for gifting a sub to Adam Zeddy. Welcome aboard to the GSA sub train. Let's see some pogs and GSA fires in the chat for Adam Zeddy, who now has his own subscription to show. Thank you so much for those subs.
Super is crazy right now. Oh, Toast going for Baristas, but
not even getting the wall kick here. Gonna go ahead and set up again, and still not.
Does he even have the right angle? It doesn't really look like he doesn't have the right. Oh, what?
And it. Wow. Okay. How
did that work? It looked like he had an angle off to the left. What?
I don't even know. What even? Okay.
I think the first ones he didn't get enough speed for a wall kick, but the angle still looked also off. You know, it was hard to tell if it was speed or the angle, but that last angle was insane.
Yeah, breezeless through sheer willpower. His will affecting the raw memory of the game, giving him the momentum he needed. Just I don't even know what to say about that. That was just wild.
Yeah, and the fact that he continued to try breezes after messing it up 2 times, even after the first time, I would consider just not doing it.
Oh yeah, no, it only saves like I think 2 seconds over an optimal breeze strat, so it's one of those things that if you're not able to like be like Punkay and call it free, then it's it certainly makes cheeses opting for just going for the breeze in the first place look a lot safer and just like the better option for a race.
Exactly. Oh, and Eno also coming in with a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much.
And Toast also, with that pre-deep dive, gonna have to do those kicks back into the star. As also Marbarito with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much with that 2-month streak.
Oh boy, all them subs coming in. Well, look at this lead still. toastrider just enters SL and he's pretty much done. Just goes to HMC already. Oh,
Be-a-doo-doo. I always love that menu noise. It's just so quick.
I was really fast on that. I sometimes get hang up on the menuing there on leaving a stage.
Yeah. And that's another thing, like with Horis, I don't think that OEM controllers have snapback anywhere near as bad. And so when you're trying to do that menuing on a Hori, if you're just like flicking the stick really fast, there's a decent chance that it'll just go back to the previous option.
Yeah, for sure.
At some point, I might look into like trying to add a snapback cap or something. Because I know that
even... Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you go ahead. I'm not sure what you were saying was better.
Sometimes you even like push downwards twice because that happens easy as well. And since you have to do that menuing from like no save and continue as well, sometimes you just do that on the other menu.
And nice pro in the deep freeze from both of these guys with that jump and then delayed dive. As Cheese makes a nice quick start to HMC. And the triple box jump is good.
Looking so strong. His SL was also so much better than the one in the first race where he was messing up snow. So, oh, what? The Z slide from Toast? Okay.
Okay.
Is that like a new thing, or did he just miss a jump dive? I think he just missed a jump dive and backed it up with a Z slide.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like, he did a dive, and I think, yeah, he definitely just missed a jump dive, did a dive, and that messed up his spacing. So he decided to just press Z and also slide. Oh, he's breezing through this HMC. I'm not sure how big the lead is right now, but it definitely looks like 1 minute 30, something like that. And I think GC is still gonna get a 39 efficiency as well. He's still on 48 pace. Like, after all that, he's done quite some more mistakes in the beginning this time around than in his previous run.
Oh yeah, it's weird seeing that, like you said, it's still on really good pace.
Yeah, it always surprises me how like it wouldn't have been that easy a few years ago to get a 48, you know, even for top runners, that is.
Yeah, it's still not easy at all. It's just that at this level, at this point, guys like Cheese and Punkay are just mind-blowingly consistent at the game.
Exactly,
and even when they start making these mistakes, it's the rest of their gameplay is just so on point that they're still able to pull these insane runs.
Of course, it's a really high 48 with a decent, not a perfect. With a perfect, it might still be around the 48, 40 or 30. But yeah, that's not to expect in a race, a perfect tippy.
Oh yeah, no, not
so,
at all.
Yeah, also a decent tippy is of course also hard, but he could still get a 48. Who knows? He's been playing super solid this far, except for a Driver at 100, of course. And the THI death, let's not talk about those things.
Yeah, no. I'm sure that THI death certainly a bit of a salty point still. Just that seems so weird. I've never seen that kind of death before like that.
Yeah, same. I also haven't seen people like do a kick to the air, I think. I just always walk. Like most people always just walk onto that slope. Oh, but really nice first like hit bounce this time around. Had trouble in the previous race as well. He's fixing all his stuff he had trouble with earlier.
Yup. First try, beautiful Lakitu bounce. Let's see if we can pull out just a really, really solid rainbow ride to cap off what is starting to kind of shape up to be this last race between these two, as Cheese seems to be bound and determined to punch that ticket to the pace playoffs.
He's so close to it. He's already feeling it. It's pretty much in his reach. This big of a lead. Yeah, Toast is almost 2 minutes behind. He's around like 140, 150, and Cheese leaving HMC.
It just wow. Wow.
And also, it's kind of insane keeping up the consistency after having played for too long. Two, like, no reset runs or 2 races can be really drying you out, you know? Can be really draining. Yeah, draining was the word I was looking for.
Foo Pizza, toastrider had just a really, really rough start. He took 2 deaths before even getting out of the lobby. One of them being a really, really unfortunate death in the middle of CCM 100 to just this weird long jump, kind of, not even a bonk, just getting pushed by the ceiling and ending up falling underneath the fence.
Yeah, it was... Wait, did he take 2 deaths? I thought it was only CCM, CCM 100.
I thought he took another one somewhere early on. I just forgot.
He did have a lot of Owlist troubles, and yeah, Worms didn't go too well that way. Ooh, interesting side flip. Didn't get the triple jump. And then also
finishing up with Rainbow Ride. I don't even know what I was about to say.
3 stars. That's wow.
Yeah, just a pretty wild lead developing on Cheese's side.
Toast didn't have these like hit bounce mistakes this time around though, so he's also improved on that, but doesn't have them much if he's already that far like behind. And that's a beautiful ledge grab skip from Cheese.
Yeah, those just insane kicks going up the red coins, and then of course, just nutty movement so far. Let's see what he pulls out on the rest of the TTC 100. But he's taking that. Is he barely surviving? Okay.
Wow. That was a weird jump. Okay.
Yeah, I really like that. Was just I don't even understand how he flew so far away from the trail.
Yeah, I have no idea how that even happens, because you wanna do a kick forward and not jump to the left. All right. Oh, and Toast has to back up the tricky triangles with a wall kick and gets the backup as well. Wow.
Yeah, this is the sort of thing that toastrider needs probably about 4 times.
Only 4 times.
Yeah, who even knows? Cheese going to be, ooh, wow, that last coin starting to try to show off some bad RNG, but ending up falling right into Cheese's lap. And 100 coin is good for him.
It was kind of the same scenario as last race. That last coin pulled him like into that corner. Not too optimal, so I had to chase it a little bit, but ooh, goes for the one back up, but slides down.
Oh, he knows he's got
that back up too. Okay, just as long, it cycles again. Try to side flip onto it, but way too far. Okay, Cheese is kind of losing it right now.
Yeah, I think he kind of does know about the lead that he's claimed, and so he's just kind of. I think he's not too concerned about those types of mistakes, just wanting to get that back up instead of having to deal with the wall kicks. Yeah,
definitely. Jill, like a whole TTC 100 ahead, pretty much.
Yeah, it's certainly one of the longer doubled stars in this run, so.
A lot of time still. Oh, that was a weird angle for Cheese and does get a bonk. So has to back this up with a side flip wall kick.
Is able to get up 2 pendulums though, without much fuss.
Definitely, I could have gotten a lot worse. Maybe not after that bonk, but before. The movement before is not too easy. It does get the first turbo jump moving wall kick. I kind of messed that up. Moving turbo jump wall kick, that was the right thing. Ooh, an interesting side flip onto the box to ground pound for toastrider. Kinda having fun. Doesn't realize he's so far behind.
Yeah, could be. And he is now going to be finishing up with TTC 100, making up a little bit of time over Cheese, but Cheese still in a very, very commanding lead. 2 full additional stars ahead.
Definitely. And it's really weird angles on these wall kicks. Kind of the same mistake as Cheese. What?
Oh!
Oh my god!
I don't think I've seen that thwomp smash warp. I'm
Yeah,
sure that's
same.
a known
That's the
thing,
first
but-
time I've seen that. He kind of ledge grabbed. I think he wanted to go up or was too far to the edge or something, and that's why he downward. But okay.
I don't even know. Yeah.
That's his second downward this match too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were
He had
both
one
on
of
his
these
side.
if that's like a downward what he had in DDD in the first race, it's breaking matters, dude.
Yeah, someone go ahead and get Pan and Koic on the phone. You might get $1,000 out of it, even though it's an entirely opposite direction to what he was wanting the bounty for. Little synchronized star grabs, albeit with 2-star separation, and one of those stars is the Toad Star on toastrider's side.
Yeah, T still only has to grab one more TC. Toast also falling down. It's looking like a wrap. T's almost done with TTC already, going into bits. Oh man. But yeah, Cheese did have that huge lead the entire race after that CCM death.
Yeah, nice pulling off that moving reds real fast as
Oh, that's
Cheese
true.
is gonna
He-
be moving into Tippy.
Kind of used to that
Acrobatic.
because kind of used to that moving reds because he already did it in the first race as well. He's like so consistent at it, so confident as well.
And that really just like especially watching it, it's really all timing and knowing how exactly you need to move the stick. But like just
Again,
my memories of like trying to do that as a kid without realizing how exactly the like time stop on the clock worked, like it just makes that so visually impressive.
yeah,
to me.
that's kind of the same as figuring out with Dry World at first. It's just entering the painting at different heights causes the water level to be different. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. But it's like, you know,
starting out strong.
Oh yeah, very, very nice boot to this Dark World or Sky. Sorry, we're about 30 minutes past Dark World. As he's
Would have been
shooting
no-
for moving right side.
Would have been a little bit better if he was still in Dark World. Does get a bonk. Does he go for the? Nah, he just goes for left side instead. Moving left side, back out.
Ooh,
Doesn't
and
get it as well. And let's
Not
try
able to
falls-
get it in.
and
And that's
He's
and
dead.
he's
He's
dead.
dead.
Wow.
He's dead.
The momentum just pushing him off of that platform. Toast now within 1 star of Cheese.
It's
Let's-
gotten quite closer.
Yeah, and the last star he has to do is time jumps on moving bars. I mean, it is one of the longer TTC single stars, but I mean, if Cheese takes another death like that, that could certainly be it. As
Okay, Toaster is really confused right now because what's that back up? Oh my god!
Ow!
What a genius!
5,000 IQ Galaxy Brain right here. What even?
First he was so confused because he didn't know what star he was missing, and she's falling down again at the same time. Oh my god!
Oh boy. Oh, and Toast taking a bonk. They're giving Cheese a little bit of extra time, but Cheese only gonna be making it.
Complete meltdown, dude.
Oh, Toast, no. Take the time jumps. The bars are moving right now. You're not used to this. Okay, he's good. Cheese almost completely missing that elevator. Is able to get
Wow.
on top of the elevator. The Goomba in prime bopping position, able to bop the Goomba himself instead. From pixels away, not even quite sure how that contact was made, taking the staircase dead on to make sure that there's no issue whatsoever as he goes into final Bowser. Toast Rider could potentially get into this Bowser fight if Cheese starts missing throws.
Yeah,
First throw is good though. Not even
Imagine
needing
if-
a mid-range hitbox.
Yeah, imagine if Toast entered TTC while stop, and that's a miss for Cheese, the first one. It's only a couple more and Toast Rider's back in this if he gets moving right side. Doesn't
But
get
Toast with that. What even? Yeah, that was a weird speed kick there.
Yeah, he didn't. That was no speed kick. Also, like, no kick.
It was a
no
slow kick,
speed
yeah.
whatsoever. Kick and
Speed
Cheese.
kicking. Yeah.
Speed kicking. And Cheese taking it over toastrider. Well, Toast falls down as well. Oh man, what an ending. That just woke me up.
Yup, for sure. Same here. Same here. 50-48 from Cheese. GG's in the chat. Cheese punching that ticket officially to Pace. Going to be in those semifinals along with Punkation.
With a really solid 4-0. Their first two races were quite closer, but Cheese in this set was looking really good. Really, really good over toastrider.
Oh, definitely. Insane consistency. And I mean, even like, especially with those, that just really odd TTC in his case right now, and of course, Bits. I mean, the rest of the gameplay was just absolutely stellar. And
exactly.
Pretty wild how I think Hunke for sure, Cheese for sure, and I'm pretty sure also you took your playoff matches completely 4-0 sweep, right?
Yeah, we did. All of us did.
And just wild to think about that. And so
now I think the matches at Pace are gonna be insanely close, like all of them.
Oh yeah, definitely. I certainly think that any remaining significant skill disparity has kind of been pushed out by those playoffs, and everyone that's going to be in these semifinals is going to be just at an insanely top tier level. I would be shocked if any of the Pace matches go 4-0. Shocked.
Which match is missing, by the way? Which
that is Viro versus Ouija, which match one of that is going to be happening later on today.
Oh, right.
Nice little segue into the outro, I guess. If you just
didn't mean that, but
it's fine. It's fine. Toast pulling out, also worth mentioning, a 52-20 despite some pretty major deaths. So GG's to Toast for finishing out this race with still a pretty solid time. And aside from those like really, really big costly deaths, his gameplay was super solid throughout these sets. It's a shame that he was blown out like this, but his gameplay was just absolutely stellar. So shout out to Toast for that. Now, for those wanting more awesome speedrun race content, don't go anywhere. In about an hour, we've got the Malay versus M Sushi. I believe this is match 2 of that matchup for Celeste.
And M Sushi did take it 2-0 the first set, so could happen that we already have a pace contender for Celeste as well. Another one.
Yeah, certainly could be after Tej and Flat have totally secured their spots. M Sushi, maybe putting himself in position to end up as that third playoff contender. Meanwhile, if you're not interested in Celeste, first off, I don't understand why. It is an awesome speed game, so you should definitely check that out. But if you're just here for SM64, in a couple more hours at 7 p.m. EST, we will have that matchup between Viro and Ouija. That is their first match, and the last remaining set of playoff matches to go ahead and finish off the SM64 70-star League playoffs. So that'll be a really exciting one. I will be calming that match as well. I'm super hyped for it. Ouija, one of those players that is super insane, but not the most consistent in the world, so it could swing either way, honestly.
I think Viro has been doing surprisingly well ever since the league started, honestly. I didn't think he was going to be that consistent. He's pulled off a lot of 49s as well, so...
Yeah, Viro, I think, definitely been slept on, so certainly going to be a match to watch out for. And if this is all you'll be able to catch today, come back tomorrow for some SMO action starting at 3 p.m., Celeste at 7, and then Mega Man X at 9 and 10. And in case you can't stick around for any of those later races today, thank you so much for stopping by, GSA. One last time, I'm Electric. D, it has been an absolute blast co-comming with you, especially over a race as good as this.
That was really fun. That was a really good set as well. Congrats to Cheese once again. And yes, stick around for some more speedrunner action. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Yep, thanks so much. And we hope you can stick around, but if you can't, peace out. We'd love to see you back here again some other day.
Bye.
Bye.